So, going into our volume review practice, we're going to be using our Desmos graphing calculators, which means we can use the formulas that we know, and we can just create our sliders and put in all of our information and have the calculator do the work for us. So let's go ahead and open up our Desmos graphing calculator. If you don't have it open yet, go ahead and pause this video and open it up. Once it's opened up, we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to start out by putting in our basic dimensions that we need. If we have any sort of prism or pyramid, we need a length equals, we need a width equals, and we need a height equals. Now, when we type this in, because we don't have a complete equation here, we're going to get an exclamation point. It says you need something on both sides of the equal symbol. So let's go ahead and just put one in for each one of these, just so that way we can get rid of those arrows. So we're going to start out with just a basic shape that's length of 1, width of 1, and a height of 1. So that's our first step. The next thing that we need to do is we need to type in our formula volume. So the formula for the volume of a rectangular prism, volume equals length times width times height. So that's our first one, and if we want to, we can even add a note in here by clicking on note, so that way we can remember rectangular prism. Then we can type in a note for triangular prism, and we'll type in the formula for that. Volume equals 1/2 times the length times the width times the height. And then let's go ahead and put in the volume for our pyramids as well. So we'll go ahead once again, we'll change this to a note and type a rectangular pyramid. And the formula for the volume of a rectangular pyramid, because it comes to a point, we're going to multiply it by 1/3. So 1/3 times our length times our width times our height. And then our last shape, we've got a triangular pyramid. And the volume for that, because it comes to a point, is going to be 1/3 times the prism volume, which is 1/2, times the length, times the width, times the height. So now that we have all four of our formulas in here, triangular pyramid, rectangular pyramid, triangular prism, and rectangular prism, now we can go ahead and start solving our problems. So we've got 12 total problems in here. We're going to go ahead and start each one of these problems by identifying the information that we know going into this. So I can see here that we have a prism height of 3, and then the base of my triangle, we'll call that the length, is 2, and then the other dimension, the width or the height of our triangle, is also equal to 2. So we have length is 2, width is 2, and height is 3. So now we just need to go back to our Desmos graphing calculator, and if we want to make it a little bit easier, we can even drag that calculator, which will give us the opportunity to have both windows up at once. So here I have a height of 3, so I'm going to go ahead and change my height to 3. My width is 2, and my length is 2. So since I have a triangular prism here, which is the other thing we want to identify, triangular prism, I'm going to look at the volume for a triangular prism here, which tells me my volume equals 6. So V equals 6. But I'm not quite done yet, because I also need to add my units, and I can see here that my unit is an M, meaning it's in meters. And since I have volume, it's going to be meters cubed. So now let's go ahead and move on to problem number 2. Problem number 2 here, we've got a rectangular prism. So across the top, I'm going to write rectangular prism. And then we're going to identify our length, width, and height. So my length is equal to 6 millimeters. My width is equal to 4 millimeters. And my height is 5 millimeters. So now we can go back to our graphing calculator and let's just go ahead and change these numbers. Length is equal to 6, width is equal to 4, and height is equal to 5. So now I can see my rectangular prism has a length, width, and height of 6, 4, and 5, which gives me a volume of 120 right here. So our volume equals 120. But again, we're not yet done. We have to use our units. So 120 millimeters cubed. And then we're going to go ahead and do one more here together. And our last one that we're going to do is a pyramid. I see here that our pyramid has 3 sides on its base. So we have a triangular pyramid. All right, so my triangular pyramid, I've got my formula down here at the bottom, so it'll calculate for us automatically. We just need to put in our length, width, and height. So my length is 11 feet. My width is 20 feet. And the height is 12 feet. So let's go ahead and put in those numbers. Length is 11. Width is 20, and my height is 12 feet. Then by scrolling down here to the bottom, I can see that the volume of this triangular pyramid is 440. So volume equals 440 feet cubed, because our units are feet.